Hey everyone, SweetJohnnyCage here. Welcome to the March 2022 channel update. Decided to do something a little bit different this month. I'm recording this within the Eldon Whip, my new Subaru Crosstrek hybrid, that YouTube money is basically paid for. So, I discussed this in the previous update, but Elden Ring, or my Elden Ring content has been such a hit that I've made more money on YouTube in a month than I ever have in a year, and I needed to buy a new car, so here we are. So thank you to everybody who has supported in any sort of way, either just watching videos or if you're a channel member. And if you are, thank you very much for joining, and you'll have this video for a week early, ahead of the rest of the general Earth population. So thank you very much for all that. Anybody who's donated in the streams, anybody who's made a super chat, really any way of support is very appreciated one way or the other. And if you're new to the channel, hello and welcome. I mean, there's 14,000 new subscribers to this channel in the past month, so welcome. I'm John, also known as SweetJohnnyCage. So this is your first time seeing a monthly channel update. This is not what they usually look like. I don't usually record these in a car at the beach at night or during sunset wearing sunglasses, but here we are. Like I said, I want to do something a little bit different, kind of celebrate the fact that I have a new car, and it's, thanks to YouTube and all that, so thank you very much. The topic in question for this month is not an awesome one. It's burnout. A lot of things have happened in the past month. Started a new job, gonna be moving to LA in 6 weeks. The move date is basically locked in. The movers are coming May 16th. I'll be leaving probably within a few days of that, flying out to LA and living. So very excited for that. But in the past 5-6 weeks, let's say, for Elden Ring, I have made over 160 videos, and that has burnt me out a little. I actually wasn't even expecting it. Usually after I cover a game, I do need to take a couple days and just chill the hell out. But I wasn't expecting to really lose motivation with Elden Ring, but here we are. It's not a complete burnout, like I'm not, miserable or anything. I'm actually very happy. It's just finding the motivation to do any sort of, Elden Ring content, or really any content at all, is a bit of a struggle right now. And I've always maintained that this YouTube channel is really just for me, and it's just a place from a creative outlet, and if folks like it, great. If they don't, oh well. This isn't a job. I would love for it to be a job, I would love for it to be a career. But right now it's just a side hustle, and I'm going to listen to my body and listen to my brain. And, I don't ever push myself to make content for things I don't like. So I'm not going to. But I do have like several Elden Ring video ideas that I want to do, but finding the motivation to do them, even the smallest ones, is a bit of a struggle. So I'm just taking a little bit of time to kind of figure that out. I fully understand that with this decision means that the videos that I do make aren't going to get many views. I don't really care, but that's just the way it is. So when will I get back to it? Probably this week, maybe in a few days. But for right now, starting this new job, I have a lot of new responsibilities. They've all kind of started at once, and we're literally heading into the college championship for League of Legends. So I kind of started at the perfect time, the worst time as well. There's really no rest for the wicked here. So my plate is full. But, like I said before, nothing will change on the channel. I don't have to get any sort of clearance from my employer to do this or anything. It's just a little bit of burnout. The next videos that I do want to do are, I need to make a guide for the final painting. I forget what it's even called. Something about birds in flight. I can't remember. I actually never found it myself. I found the painting, but never found the solution. So I got to go do that. Unfortunately, you get locked out of it after you defeat Malekith in Elden Ring, or towards the end of the game. So I kind of forgot about it. But now that I'm like cycling through New Game Plus a bunch, I kind of remember to do it. And then there is a whole giant questline video that I want to do. That'll take a bit more planning to get through. Specifically, it's around Volcano Manor and Dialos and Patches and Tanith and Zarias. Like, there's so many different characters that go in and out of Volcano Manor. And, I mean, it even relates to the new Jarbarn NPC. I think I'm pronouncing his name correctly. Jarbarn? I don't know. I think one of my followers, Helicity, said that it's Scottish for child or Scottish for son or something like that. So definitely look into that. I really love language, so Elden Ring has been a treat. But yeah, there's just a little bit of burnout. Um, Moving to LA in 6 weeks is exciting but daunting. The company is kind of handling the vast majority of the work, but I'm like having to balance like communicating with 4 different companies all at the same time to like get everything handled and make sure everything's locked in. So there's still kind of a lot there, and it's a little overwhelming. And then, with that comes the excitement, the nervousness. I'm sad to leave New York. I was in the city last night for a friend's birthday, and just like driving through Midtown, it's like, damn, like I've done a lot here, and I've lived outside of New York once before for a few years. I lived in North Carolina, and sort of South Carolina as well. Um, but this feels like like a much bigger move in a way. Like when I moved to North Carolina, it was sort of out of like not necessity, but I was given a job opportunity to work remotely, but what they could pay me wasn't enough to keep living in New York, especially not on my own. But I had a friend down in North Carolina who had an extra room in his apartment, so I became his roommate, and that was okay. But it was really like flying by the seat of my pants. I was working for a startup. We ran out of money. Felt like a giant failure after that, and it was just like a really tough kind of weird time. But moving to LA, this feels like a grown up thing, and that's a little scary. Um, yeah, it's a little weird doing this, and I'm very glad that it's being taken care of, in terms of like the financials on it, and like a lot of the planning is being taken care of. But um, I also feel a little guilty for that. Like I still feel like I haven't moved out on my own yet. Like it's so weird. I was taught never to ask for help and to just do everything myself. So when things are taken care of for me, I feel guilty. But I am very excited. Yeah, there's not like a huge update this month. If last month was your first big channel update, it's all downhill from here. Yeah, there's just not much going on right now in terms of like what I'm trying to do. There's just like a lot to maintain until we get to LA in May or June. Or, I'm going in May, but, actually get settled sometime in June. Before recording this, I did take a look at the upcoming games for this year. And unfortunately, there's not much that I'm kind of interested in. And like I said before, I don't make content for stuff that I'm not interested in. I'll try new things for sure, but really nothing's jumping out at me. At least that's been announced so far. That said, there is supposed to be news this week coming from PlayStation. The rumor is that they're going to be launching their Game Pass competitor. It's not really much for me to cover, but I am hoping that buried in that announcement is maybe a new exciting game. Who knows? But yeah, for like the next few months, there's not much coming out that I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to cover that. Which is weird because January and February felt like back to back to back to back bangers with, Sifu, then Horizon, then Elden Ring. And, a lot of folks are looking forward to Strangers of Paradise, which is the Final Fantasy 1 sort of remake. And like nothing interested me except for Elden Ring. And here we are, burnt out. So we'll find something to do, I'm sure. I have been streaming a good deal more, somewhat consistently. No set schedule. I used to have a streaming schedule. I used to stream like Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern until about midnight. And nobody would watch. I would just get really burnt out. There were several people who did watch and they were always consistent. I always try to mention that, like John Aldridge, who's a channel member, and is always in my stream chat. Like he always showed up. Hector Estrada was one of the first as well, but like I couldn't figure out how to grow an audience, and eventually I was just like, I don't care to grow an audience at this point. Like the YouTube audience is great. That's growing very consistently. Let's just stick with that. But streaming has been nice. So maybe I'll do that a bit more. Find some other things to stream. Just keep up with it, but we'll see. One thing that I am looking forward to that I think I'll do some content on is the Resident Evil 2 and 3 next gen update. So this is almost guaranteed to just be a graphical update. They haven't really mentioned new features at all, but I really love Resident Evil 2 Remake, so I'll probably do a playthrough of it, and just like showcase the update. But other than that, I don't really know. So we'll figure it out. But that's going to really do it for this month's update. Again, I don't normally record these in a car, but I'm like still in love with this new car, so figured why not. Also, this is the beach near my house where I grew up, so I figured this being one of the last updates in New York, probably for a few years, this would probably be a good place to do it. So yeah, I come here a lot to just kind of think, and it's always a nice place to reset. It's also a nice place to eat lunch. A lot of people do it. Just sit in your car. Unfortunately, it's like March 28th or whatever, and it's like 30 degrees out, so it's brick, and I don't know like where the spring is, but winter's still here. And hopefully this weather lets up. I think it's supposed to later this week, and then spring will finally get started. But yeah, I was gonna like bring a microphone down here and like record it outside, but it's so damn cold that I think I'd freeze to death if I tried that. So we'll just do it in the car. But that's it. Thank you all so much for watching. I will roll the credits on the channel members. I clearly don't have it up in front of me for the personalized shout outs. Sorry about that. But I will roll credits on this, and all of you are in there. Thank you so much, everybody, for the past month. It's been insane. Thank you to the 14,000 new subscribers on the channel. Should hit 40K this week. And to all the new channel members, welcome and enjoy your first monthly update a week early. All right. As always, I'm SweetJohnnyCage. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.